B1 brothers and sisters, welcome to Blacklogic. And today we have to talk about these bootlicking, sambo-kicking, Black Democratic Shield organizations that have been duping, tricking, hoodwinking, exploiting the Black vote and Black people for a very, very long time. When we look at these things, we have to understand throughout history, this has been happening for a very long time. One of our great master teachers, Dr. Martin Luther King, passed away, and so did, unfortunately, his legacy. Okay? Because these organizations, they claim to fight for our rights, do they not? And what have we benefited from the Congressional Black Caucus? I know it's a government entity, but is a Democratic Black-ran organization that continues to be on position and guard for the Democratic power structure in order to keep them in office by the way of the Black vote, by exploiting the Black vote. Because when you look over the years, what tangibles have the Black collective, what tangibles have foundational Black Americans received? What have we received as a people when you compare us to illegal immigration? When you compare us to groups that came over here after we have already built the country? Because the only time you see these Democratic ran organizations, the only time you really hear about them is when Black people are innocently being harmed, and they use that as a promotion rally for their organization, for people to give gifts and donations and money and all sorts of things. And then the second time you see these organizations, family, they're for the Democrats, they're for your vote. We are promised all these particular things, right? Never reparation cash payments, but we are promised improved education, improved infrastructure funding for our neighborhoods and our communities. But when you look around and you see neglected schools, when you see a crumbling infrastructure in the Black community, where did those promises go? Where did the funding go? It must have all disappeared. You know, I thought about this too. All these particular organizations that pander to the Black community, where is the Kamala Harris / Joe Biden Lift All Act or Lift Act that really wasn't for Black folk, but it was for everybody else? Where's that at? And we're going to comb through some of these organizations, not all of them, because there's quite a few. And why do you think these organizations exist, and how are these organizations funded? They're funded mostly by the white liberal power structure. And then those white liberal power structures are, in most cases, funded by the system of white supremacy through individuals, of course. Now, some people are like, oh, that's conjecture, that's projecting. And I really wanted to chase the dollar here, but family, I wanted to make this a short banger for you guys. I didn't want to go too hard because there are a couple of things I want to cover in this broadcast this evening. There's a couple of things I want to really, really cover. But when we look at all the systemic issues that we have in the Black community, and I name education, what about healthcare? We're still fighting for what? Equal healthcare, so that our mothers and daughters, when they're going into labor, that we don't have the highest death rate when it comes to those things. We have the highest unemployment rates. We have the highest homeless rate, and they're telling us there's no racism in America. Nikki Haley, Rafiki Ramaswamy, there's no racism in America. It's real funny being a first or second generation immigrant, is it not? But foundational Black Americans are not immigrants, and we understand the construct in which we live. We understand the system in which we parlay. And as I stated, when we look at all these other different groups, when we look at the immigrants mostly, because we can definitely compare ourselves to Native Americans in some sense, and we understand there are Black Americans who are Native Americans, but that's a whole different conversation and another whole slew of arguments to really debunk. But we're not even receiving, okay? We're not even receiving what the illegal immigrants are receiving. We're going to quickly cover what New York City Mayor Adams has approved $53 million to go to illegal immigration by the way of credit cards. We're going to quickly go over it, family. I'm going to let you hear for yourself. I tend not to speak in conjecture because the truth will set you free, right? But they have all these comprehensive illegal immigration laws. I have to put the illegal on it. Fair use, public domain. I don't know what you're supposed to say because my videos, family, listen to this. My videos keep getting striked. Not like an actual strike, but like a really harsh warning. But I'm not going to stop. I'm not going to stop. Who the hell they think they talking to? I guess I have to keep disputing it. That's what's going to have to happen. Because the truth must be spoken, family, and not to be, biased on any political side. Because let me tell you guys what happened. After I did that Donald Trump video, I lost a couple of subscribers because they probably thought I was like hardcore conservative or hardcore Republican. No, I'm neither. I'm nothing. This is about Black first. This is about foundation of Black Americans. This is about Black empowerment. So I guess when people get too biggity blacked up, they got to run for the borders. I understand that everybody is not going to take hold to foundational Black Americans in the way we speak and what we do and how we respond to certain things. I get it. We are a special group. And when we have immigrants that look like us speak out, just understand that we're your warrior class. They just didn't go over and get the most feeble body and weak-minded people. No, they took the very strong of the continent because they knew that we would survive that long trip. Don't get me wrong, family. There were some of us already here prior to the slave ships, but then they brought a lot of us over here later as well. And majority of the slaves out of Africa went to Brazil. So when we talk about these organizations, they receive significant fundings and donations. But has that money ever trickled down to your community? Has it ever trickled down to your local community center? Has it ever trickled down to your local school district? No. And then you see some of these leaders living these very lavish lifestyles, driving luxury vehicles. And the same organization, just like Black Lives Matter, right? They didn't call her out. She got properties overseas. She got millions of dollars in the bank by the American tax dollar, by those people who donated. And get this, family. In Black Lives Matter, Black people wasn't the only one donating. There were white people donating, Asian people donating, people who essentially understand our situation, or people who probably felt sorry, or people who felt guilted. Okay. But nonetheless, everybody was giving money to that organization, and it come out to be a scam. And this is why there's a difference between the Black Lives Matter organization and the Black Lives Matter grassroots movement. There's a large difference. Okay, because we understand that the Black Lives Matter group is a LGBTQ ran institution, or organization rather. And this is why we must inform and empower grassroots activists, people who are there, who are backing up those activists on the streets, who are genuinely fighting for change, rather than relying on these democratic shields are put in place to continue to subdue and numb Black people to continue to accept the position, the situation, and the environment that we live in. And we can't turn back, family, because most of these organizations, unfortunately, are ran by that group of the civil rights movement sort of people who, they can't really do nothing without MLK. They thought because they brushed across his shoulder, they bumped him walking past the hallway, they thought that someone's going to rub off. They don't have that type of pull. They don't have that type of power. They don't have that type of influence. But they believe that continue to vote Democrat is the way to go. And they would try to guilt trip you into doing the same thing. Now, before I get started here, I know I kind of always went into it, but we're going to give honor and respect to one of our greats here, Marion Coke, who's largely the reason why we can speak to each other over FaceTime, Zoom, Twitter Spaces, Clubhouse, you name it. She is the foundational Black American freedman who developed voice over internet protocol. And this is what I was trying to tell the people too, family. Also, the internet. Look up Emmett McHenry. Emmett McHenry. He also created the internet as well. So again, empower and honor Black History Month. That's one of our greats. And here's the thing, family. They would like to keep continuing with us that we are incompetent, incapable, but we keep proving them wrong because we understand exactly who we are. All right, first up on the list, NAACP. Now, I went to their About page, family. I went to their About page because I want to get right down to the nitty gritty. We're not going to stay here long. And so the one thing I came back, I want to read, okay, the impact leadership partners. Okay, cool. We are the NAACP. What are you guys for? We advocate and agitate and litigate for the civil rights due to Black America. Okay, cool. Now, when you started getting into some of the subject, council student debt. Okay, council student debt. Inclusive community rooted in liberation, where all persons can exercise their civil and human rights without discrimination. Okay, all lives matter. Here's some of your bootlicking civil rights leaders. Okay, what else do we have? Your board, using color typography, photography, and illustration departments. I don't see what they're about, family. I don't see what they're about. But we're going to break down a particular branch of the NAACP. We're going to break down a particular branch because all of them are inclusive when we break down this one branch out of this one state, out of this one city, when it comes to NAACP. Let's move on. Now, this is the National Action Network. This is the National Action Network. It states here, founded in 1991 by Reverend Al Sharpton, okay? Reverend Al Sharpton.
Look at your neighbor and say he's a meat stretcher. He'll stretch your meat.
To promote a modern civil rights agenda that includes the fight for one standard of justice, decency, and equal opportunities for all people, family. Did you get that? For all people. Not just black people. It's talking about Reverend Sharpton, one of the civil rights. For all people, regardless of race, religion, ethnicity, citizenship, criminal record, economic status, gender expression, or sexuality. So it's all lives matter. These are do nothing organization, and these are one of the ones that Al Sharpton actually started, okay? And what are they for? Criminal justice reform for all, police accountability for all, crisis intake. And here's the thing what they understand. Here's the thing that they understand, family. They understand that if they talk about specific issues that mainly target the Black community, they understand that most Black people are like, oh, he's talking about us. But if you notice in the beginning, and that's why it's so important to read and analyze these things, because they'll say one thing, and when you read the text, when you read the article, when you read the journal, they mean another thing. And that is the problem where we lies. And again, voting rights. We've been voting for a very long time, family. Listen, we've been voting for a very long time. And matter of fact, it was either the 1964 or the 1968 Civil Rights Amendment or Civil Rights Extension. I forgot which the terminology, but that covered voting nonetheless. But we have voting rights, okay? Corporate responsibility and pension diversity, okay? I'm not gonna read none of this trash because they're not talking about nothing. Youth leadership, bridging the digital divide. I mean, I don't know what they're talking about. I have no idea what they're talking about. Next, the National Urban League. On one hand, they're stating they're gonna is a historical civil rights organization. Civil rights. Don't forget this civil rights is for everybody, not just Black people, not just Hispanic people, not just Asian people, but for white people as well. Civil right is not color or race specific. It is not. The National Urban League is a historical civil rights organization dedicated to economic empowerment in order to elevate the standard of living in historically underserved urban communities. And what they do is they put a bunch of black people on here like, oh, underserved urban communities. They have underserved Hispanic communities. They have underserved white communities. I know a lot of you guys driven past some trailer parks in an urban environment or near an urban environment, okay? So that I don't know what they're trying to get out of this right here. Then John Conyers, you guys remember him, unfortunately, brother passed away, but they try to say that he was for reparations. They say in National Urban League, they say he was for reparations. And again, all of these people are hanging on the bootstraps of who? The only most honorable Dr. King. That's everybody's on his bootstraps. Everybody trying to their claim to fame of Dr. King. It's kind of like if you was the bench player during Jordan era, or you was a bench player during LeBron when he was in Miami or Cleveland when they won all them championships, or you was a bench player on the Lakers when Kobe was there, the Black Mamba. If you guys were on the bench, right, and you was like the 11th man, nobody really knows. You're the cheerleader over there. You're jumping up when somebody dunk. Nobody knows you. Nobody knows you. And they have to use LeBron. Oh, I was on the Lakers championship team with LeBron. Oh, what number was you? I was 16. Oh, okay. I think I saw you over there cheerleading with pom-poms. But what they're basically trying to say with John Conyers is that he was his reparationist, essentially. But then when I looked at the legislation that he passed, okay, when I looked at the legislation, Commission to Study and Develop Reparation Proposal for Black Americans Act. It's like all of these bootlicking Negroes and their organizations have some sort of legislation or proponent of legislation or a rough draft of a legislation to study reparations. We don't need a study. The Native Americans didn't need a study. The Holocaust survivors that got money from the American government didn't need a study. The Japanese didn't need a study. None of these other groups needed a study. But when it comes to us, we need to study. This pay what you owe, cut the check. This pay what you owe. It's not a big deal. Now they're cutting check for people who are not even legally in the country. They're not even legally in the country. They're sending billions of dollars, or have sent rather, billions of dollars to Ukraine. So this pay what you owe. It's not a big deal. And then I'll have people in my comment section, family, and I love your comments. I read your comments. But then I'll have some people, man, I don't know why you focusing on reparations. We ain't gonna get no damn reparations. See, that's the problem with quitters. That's the problem with turncoats. See, if our ancestors if they gave up, I want you to think about all the rebellions, all the revolts. I know there's some popular ones, but think about all the things our people did under tyranny. Think about all the things our people did in slavery and out of slavery and Jim Crow and Reconstruction and during the Black Codes and et cetera, and et cetera, et cetera. And out of all the things they destroyed, we are still here. We would have been annihilated if it wasn't sacrifice, bloodshed and tear, fights and protests. If none of those things wouldn't happen, Black Americans, foundational Black Americans, would be extinct. We would be extinct if that didn't occur. So it's not about quitting. Next on the list, this is the National Black Justice Coalition. Again, this is the National Black Justice Coalition. What is their mission? To end racism, homophobia, and LGBTQ bias and stigma. Okay. Everybody needs somebody to fight for, but when I go down here and I read, has been America's leading national civil rights organization dedicated to the empowerment of who? Of Black, lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, queer plus, and same gender loving people, including people living with AIDS, through coalition building, federal policy change, research, and education. So tell me who this benefit. Does this benefit the Black grassroots? Does this benefit the collective of Black folk? Does this benefit all the foundation of Black Americans? Or do this benefit the Black LGBTQ, which is a very small portion of foundational Black Americans? They got a whole organization with a title that is clickbait. National Black Justice Coalition. You're like, oh, here's a coalition, here's a group, here's an organization that is for the betterment and justice of Black people. No, just one group of Black people, family, and that's why it's important to comb these things out. Next, the Black Lives Matter group, okay? So they would tell you Black Lives Matter was founded back in 2013 in response to acquittal of Trayvon Martin murderer. Black Lives Matter Global Network Foundation, a global organization, US, UK, whose mission is to eradicate white supremacy, and build local power to intervene in violence inflicted on Black communities by state and vigilantes by combating and countering acts of violence, creating space for Black imagination and innovation, and centering Black joy. We are many immediate improvements to our lives. Who lives do we affirm? Black folk? Do we affirm the lives of Black people? No, we affirm the lives of Black, queer, and trans folk, disabled folk, undocumented folks, or as one of these clips I'm gonna show you guys, an undocumented American. Don't know what an undocumented American is, but I'm still trying to define that. Let's just wait for it. Don't hold your breath, but if you do, you're gonna pass out. Folks with records. What does folks with records mean? Oh, criminals. That's what they're trying to say. Women and all Black lives along the gender spectrum. So this is another organization, Black Lives Matter, which we pointed out why they changed this website, by the way, family. The whole LGBTQ things is actually in the mission statement up here. They changed this. This is different, okay? This is different. I broke this down a couple of years ago when it first came out, because the first thing I do about all these organizations I used to do is, what are they talking about when you talk, what is the mission? What is the mission statement? What is the vision statement? What is this organization really about? And when you read it, this is what they're about. So please don't donate your money to these damn organizations. Please don't donate your money. And then second to last we have on the list is no other than the Congressional Black Bootlickers. I'm sorry, the Congressional Black Suckers. I don't know. This organization right here, family, they so damn disrespectful. I want you to just look at some of the people in the picture if you can. I don't know the quality on your side, okay? I'm looking at 4K over here. But you got Karen Bass to your far left. I call her the cowboy lady with the hat here. You see her every now and again going in on people. Okay, the jury's still out. I have nothing negative to say about the sister. You have Ilma Ohar in the back. So basically what you have Sheila Jackson Lee up here. Okay, you got a bunch of bootlicking Negroes. Okay, you got Al Green right here with the red tie. Yep, his official name is Al Green. But there's a whole slew of bootlicking Negroes who are famous that is on this. Okay, but when you start to read about what the CBC is about, it goes right into this, family. It said that the CBC has been committed to using the full constitutional power, statutory authority, and financial services, okay? Financial resources of federal government to ensure that Black Americans and other marginalized communities. What does "and other" means? That means people who are other than Black. Because marginalized communities are just not Black community. Now, we have the most, but that means that this organization is helping everybody, okay? And we're only going off the highlighted, family. We won't be here long. Look at this. Expanding access to capital contracts and counseling for minority-owned businesses. Where do you think this money and these contracts been going to? Who do you think they've been advocating for? We saw Jim Fish Frying Clyburn talking about the Catawba Indian tribe. He didn't do nothing other than the Democratic majority whip. He's not doing anything now. The only thing he's going out is with Joe Biden to these churches. Okay, he's going to these churches, to these bought and paid for Black preachers and Black elders, And every time I just think about it.
Look at your neighbor and say, he's a meat stretcher. He'll stretch your meat.
That's why people ain't going to church no more. They praying right in their house. They got their Bible. They're like, I'm just going to be right here. Me and my family, we don't know what's going on at the church anymore. They got all different types of churches out here now. Nobody knows what's going on. But let me move on, family. Let me move on. Listen to this. And this is the branch. This is the San Francisco branch of the NAACP. I told you we're going to come back on them. We're going to come back on them because this is significant. I'm going to tell you how this played out. Fair use for commentary.
National Association of Advancement of Colored People. Is that right, Ravana? Okay. They're for Black people and helping and assisting Black people. The NAACP has rejected, though, reparations for slavery, the proposal, money in the hands of the descendants of slaves. What goes here? An interesting division between the NAACP and the city of San Francisco unfolded Tuesday on exactly what's the best way to rectify the systemic conditions affecting Black Americans following an ongoing centuries-long struggle. After years of deliberation on the topic of reparations, the San Francisco committee has finally gained traction on a wide-scale proposal to dispense cash allowances to descendants of slaves in the city. These are the
very, very significant here, family, what we're going to cover, because I'm going to show how this really trickled down. Okay, look at this. So after they went on and the president of the NAACP of the San Francisco chapter came out and said, no, we don't want cash. We don't want cash payments. We don't want cash payment reparations. That started a whole fury over the internet. Okay, this was last year. At least that broadcast was last year. San Francisco chapter clarified statement on $5 million payout. Reparations should be cash payments plus investments. Okay. And then you can go ahead and kind of read this article, but they came out and they said, no, we're for cash payments. We're for cash payments. But what did California do? That's what people want to know. What did California end up doing when they heard that Black people don't want cash reparations?
Governor Gavin Newsom is now responding to recent recommendations by California's reparations task force. The task force recently submitted recommendations to lawmakers suggesting up to $1.2 million in damages be paid to Black residents. State lawmakers and the governor will have the final say on how much is spent and where the money would come from. In a statement, the governor did give an indication if he'd give back direct payments, saying dealing with that legacy is about much more than cash payments. Much of the recommendations put forward by the task force are critical action items we've already been hard at work addressing. Went on to say he looks forward to working with the legislature to adopt an inclusive and
basically what they're saying is no cash reparations, family. That's basically what that's going on. And we have to call these things out because here's the thing. California lawmakers unveiled 14 reparation bills. None of them call for cash payments. That is the number one thing on everybody's list is cash payment reparations. Because when you was building America, and America was profiting off the backs of our ancestors, it was money. It wasn't systems. It wasn't programs. It wasn't vouchers. It wasn't grants. It was the hard-working American slave dollar. That's what it was. That's what it was. That's what America was built on. Free labor for a very long time. Free labor for a very long time. Let's get into it, though, family. Let's get into it, okay? Here we go. The caucus is not yet calling for cash payments in the list of 14 reparation bill. It hopes to pass this year that would enact wide range of reforms in education, civil rights, criminal justice, health, and business. Now, here's my thing. If you name everything about civil rights, why do people keep saying civil rights? You just named everything about civil rights, basically. Healthcare, all that good stuff. You name civil rights. That's civil rights. Okay, let me move on. Where is it at? Give me a second. Here we go. Now, here are some of the proposed bills that California is proposing. So I combed through these very quickly. I said, The first one is fund programs for specific groups of people that help to increase life expectancy, improve educational outcomes, and lift them out of poverty. What are they talking about? What are they talking about? So I popped it up and we're not going to go through this, family, because what I did was I typed in 2 words. I typed in black and then I typed in African, because they like to say African American. So none of that popped up. So we know that's a bill for everybody. Okay. Very simple. Number 2, amend the California Constitution to prohibit involuntary servitude for incarcerated people. Incarcerated people. They're not talking about black people, are they? Let me go check. And you guys can correspond the legislation numbers, but I'm on point with here. I looked up 2 words, black and African. I didn't see it. Well, Blacklogic, they could have named us something else. I don't know what else. They only call us black and African American. So that wasn't in the legislation. Okay. The next one on the list here. Where is it at? Formally recognize, accept the state's responsibility for the harms and atrocity of state representatives who promoted, facilitated, enforcement, and permitted slavery. So that's 135. Is this 135? That's number 135. And it states down here, I know it's very small. Bear with me. But it says Black Californians experience persistent discrimination in healthcare services and access through inaccurate diagnosis, use of involuntary force, high costs, and a lack of culturally competitive services. And it says African Americans, see, they use black in the first one, they use African Americans in the second one, have been routinely excluded from professional careers in California. And it goes, they give some professions, physicians, psychologists, sociologists, underrepresented California medical fields, blah, 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 blah. Again, nothing. There's nothing on here. This is more of a recognition bill. Let's recognize them. Let's recognize these black people. What's the next one? It states here, prohibits discrimination based on natural and protective hairstyles in all competitive sports within California. And I said, wait a minute. Isn't there a federal rule called the Crown Act? Like no other group of people on earth has the type of hair that black people have. No other people on earth have the type of hair that black people have. So my question is, who the hell are they talking about? Now, this is AB Bill 1815. Let's make sure we got the number right, 1815. And I look for black or African American. Nope, it's for everybody. It's for everybody. So it doesn't matter what race, but no one's going around being discriminatory against white people's hair, Asian people's hair, or Hispanic people's hair. You know why? Because all of their hair is similar. We're the only people on earth with that type of hair. I mean, I don't have hair. That's why I said that type of hair, but you get my drift. Next, AB 1929 offers competitive grants to increase enrollment of African-American descendants in STEM related career technical education. You go over to the bill. That's 1929. Correspondent. No black or African American on this one, family. I looked it up for you. I'm telling you, you can do it for yourself, but you'll be wasting your time. And then I read it again. I said, offer competitive grants. What does that mean? What does offer? They're going to offer college age kids grants. Like, hey man, you want a grant? We got a grant for you. You want a grant? We're just giving them out. We're going to offer you a grant. It doesn't sound right. It just doesn't sound right. Next, AB 1975, offer medically supportive food and nutritional interventions as permanent Medi-Cal benefits in California. Okay, 1975 is the number. Did we already go over this one? I think we did. 1975. Nope, no black, no African American on this one either. Nope, nothing on that one, family. And then last but not least, the one that they have posted on this website, LA Times, AB 1986, in the California prison system practice of banning books without oversight and review. So they're still going to ban books. They still going to ban books. They said without oversight and review. So they're going to still ban some books. And then when you look at it, family, nothing. It has nothing about black books, black literature, black newspaper, nothing. It has nothing. So again, that reparations bill is an absolutely nothing burger, family. It's an absolutely nothing burger. Don't even waste your time in California. That task force presented a do nothing bill. A do nothing bill, family. An absolutely do nothing bill. So now we're going to be moving over to no other than the New York City Mayor Adams. Now we understand his post kind of went viral because 50 Cent put him on notice. And we're going to get over 50 Cent's response, okay? We're going to get over 50 Cent's response because a lot of people are, oh yeah, 50 Cent's on code, 50 Cent on code. Is he? Is 50 Cent on code? I don't know, family. We have to really talk about it. I don't know if 50 Cent is on code or not. But I heard a lot of people getting behind him, and I'm like, I was like, I don't know. I don't know if we should get behind him or not. I don't know. Okay. Let me cue this up for you guys very quickly. Let me cue this up for you guys. We're gonna cover this very quickly. I think this really needs to be spoken about because they're just rolling out the red carpet for these immigrants. I'm telling you, it's damn near disrespectful. Okay. It's damn near disrespectful. Now let's listen to this.
Song, where are these rumors coming from? Did you hear the one about Michael? Did you hear the one about Mokafai? You talking about rumors? Listen, let's get the facts. This is not an American Express card we giving folks. You remember that song, Where Are These Rumors Coming From? Did you hear the one about Michael? Did you hear the one about Mokafai? You talking about rumors? Listen, let's get the facts. This is not an American Express card we giving folks. It's a prepaid debit card, only for food and baby supplies. Not Coke 45. This is for food and baby supplies. It puts money back into local economy like bodegas, grocery stores, and supermarkets. We don't want people buying food outside the city, right in our local economy, local hiring. Avoids food waste. People are not throwing away food because they're getting the food that they are buying and what they want. Saves more than 600,000 taxpayer funds a month, which equals 7.2.
Oh my God. I can't do it, family. I don't know if I can just let them even finish talking. See, they playing black folk as fools here, family. Let me show you this. They're playing black people as fools. Let me tell you why. Prepaid debit cards, talking about it's only for food and baby supplies. I like food. Ask my wife. I like food. I eat food every day. She be like, babe, let's go on a fast. I'm like, I'm only fasting for 12 hours or 16 hours, but I'm eating food every day, okay? So those debit cards can help those homeless black New Yorkers, those homeless black, foundational black Americans. That debit card can help them get food and baby supplies. See, that's the problem here, family. They're trying to dumb you down. They trying to dumb you down like, oh, you know, it's a prepaid debit card. It's only for food and baby supplies. And guess what it's going to do? It's going to put money back into the local community. Okay, let me ask you this. If you're giving them those cards, are they only shopping in black communities? Are they, because a bodega, I mean, last time I checked, I don't know if that's a Spanish word. I don't know if that is a Jewish terminology. I don't know. But all I know is I've never been into a black bodega. I've never been into a black bodega. I'm just saying. So how are you uplifting? I'm just asking, family. And I know the city of New York City is very, very diverse, but we're talking about a specific group of people who have been neglected and oppressed and suppressed for a very long time. And then you have people who are illegally in the country coming over, getting tangible benefits off jump from the very beginning. And then you have to dumb us down and say it's only food. Well, God damn it, I like food. I like steak. I like T-bone. I like filet mignon. I do. I like some ribs every now and again. I like grapes. I like goddamn apples. Okay, I like food too. Shit, and I tell you this, some of the Gerber applesauce. It's really good. I know some of you guys ate that Gerber applesauce and you was like, it's pretty good. I know some of you guys ate that Gerber applesauce like, this ain't bad. This what they eating? Okay. This what they eating? But this is how they trying to dumb you down. It's just for food. It's just for food. We want food too. We want food too. Give it to us. Because if you have it to give it to people, why not give it to the people who are doing the worst, that are citizens of the country, who have been born and raised inside the country, who is still, but Mayor Adams. But we know that 50 Cent came out, and we have to at least address what Joy Reid said. We have to address what Joy Reid said, family. It's remarkable because, well, let's you know what? Let's cover what 50 Cent said first. But before we go there, thank you all for joining me here this evening. I see Royalty, Jermaine Anderson, my good buddy, one of my warrior brothers, Laverne Gibbs. Thank you for that donation, brother. I appreciate your military retirement check. Thank you very much. Gerhard, reparations will never happen. Only a food begs for a fantasy. And these are the naysayers. It don't bother me. You can say any divisive things, mods. Let them say what they want to say, mods. Tonight is a free for all. Let all the naysayers of reparations say whatever they want to say. You know why? These are the same people, when our foundational Black American brothers and sisters were in slavery, they was right beside us and say, we'll never get out of slavery. Just because of their fighting and their revolts and their rebellions and them standing up for what's right, we are free today. See, what people don't understand, we will love reparations, cash payments right now. But we understand that the fight, we understand that the protest is for our babies, is for our children's, because that what was stole from us, generational wealth, by stealing and manipulating us for our land, for all the hours, days, months, and hundreds of years of free labor that we provided the country by the way of our ancestors. So we understand that people are not on board with reparations. That's okay. But if you're future minded, if you understand what the fight is actually for, shit, we might just look up and get it in our lifetime. But family, I'm not going to be dismayed about the situation, because I understand revolutions take time. Change take time. But now we have that civil rights era. They're moving out. Now, don't get me wrong. There's some people part of that civil rights. They're in their late 50s, 60s, okay, early 70s. Some of them are on code. Some of them understand the agenda. And we rock with those brothers and sisters. But let me tell you, you have a great portion of them who will say these sort of anti-reparation statements. That's perfectly fine. We understand your position. Okay, you keeping us very dumbfounded to your thought process, because you are a quitter. You're a person that's given up. You can never give up on Black empowerment. It's the very survival of your people. I'll move on. I see L.A. Thorne in here. Tom Thumb. I'm just glancing through you guys very quickly. I got my warrior brother in here, DSB. Nice to see you, big man. Enraged Pinky Toe. That's my guy, Fly. I see all you guys, Ja Rules. Jules Suber. I see how you doing, FBA family. B1 to everybody who just got in here. B1. Make sure y'all share this on your social media. Give this video a thumbs up, and please subscribe to the channel, family. We're trying to grow here. We're on the road to 50,000. We're trying to hit 50,000, family. It's a large obtainable goal. And I'm gonna tell you, everything I say, you're not gonna agree with. But you should want to listen to somebody that you don't always agree with. You should want to understand their perspective, right? It helps you to grow and stretch. I read some of your comments. I go after the broadcast. Next day, I'm reading your comments. I'm like, well, you know, and I'll respond. I'm like, okay, that's a good idea, but let's get on 50 Cent. 50 Cent, I talked to New York Mayor Eric Adams. He broke down why this pilot program was put in place. He appeared to be on point. And on top of things, now I want to talk to the governor about the laws preventing him from doing things to make this situation better in New York. Let me read. It says, make the situation better in New York, and where the proposed $2.4 billion she's planning on spending on migrants is coming from, not my taxes. So my question is this: what is 50 Cent talking about? He's saying that Mayor Adams seems to be on point. Is he backtracking? Is he black? Is he back? I said black tracking. Is he black tracking? He like, oh, wait a minute. The mayor seems to be on point here, so let me go ahead and black track. The mayor seems to be on point here. And this is Mayor Adams' response to 50 Cent, by the way. This is Mayor Adams' response on 50
policy shift that we're doing on a pilot project with 500 people. If this is successful, we're going to expand it even more so that we can we got to bring down the cost. 20% we want to bring down the cost, and their team are doing their job. So I told 50 Cent to hit me up. I would love to explain it to him so that he can go out and do another tweet of saying, you know what, Eric is just a smart manager, and now we understand why he was elected by the people of the city of New York to be that this was a smart policy shift that we're doing on a pilot project with 500 people. If this is successful, we're going to expand it even.
Family, this is what we get. And this is why I said to you guys, entertainers, any form of entertainers cannot be in a position of influence and power in black empowerment. It can't be, because they tiptoe around it. They backtrack, they blacktrack, they do all of these things. They have all this mixed messaging. And granted, family, I know a lot of people like 50 Cent. I like 50 Cent. I Get Rich or Die Trying. I like some of his movies that kill black people on TV, but again, I told you, I don't have a filter. My wife told me about it. I'm trying to get it right, babe. I'm trying to get it right. Trigger warning. Let's just be real, family. The shows he's producing is producing Black Death, but the drama and the action is pretty good. Let's just be real. It is what it is. But nonetheless, we have to understand who their paymasters are. So Eric Adams invite him for a cup of coffee and something. Hey, look, 50 is going to help the city, man. Did 50 Cent say, oh, well, are they going to be shopping at black bodegas or black grocery stores or black anything? Are they going to be doing anything to empower the black community? Because I'm looking at my tax dollars and I see my people out here homeless. Do you think 50 Cent did that? You think 50 Cent said that? I'm just asking a question, family. Like I said, I don't have nothing against 50 Cent, but I know that you can't prompt up these people who are in the entertainment space. You just can't do it, family. You just can't do it, because that's what you get. That's what you get. You get them changing their mind. You get them changing the way they speak. You get everything is changing. Everything. And there's something else I wanted you guys to comment on very quickly, okay? Because I got a couple of clips here, and Killer Mike, right? Killer Mike, very powerful brother. I like his new CD. If you guys, he has a really nice CD. I'm really trying to figure out Killer Mike in a sense, and here's why. When he got his Grammys, right, he was very gracious, very, but he was just saying some things that I was just like, brother, you supposed to be on this black empowerment space. It's good that you was recognized. I applaud your contributions, this, that, and the other. But I don't know. Family V was. I don't know. I don't know if he was, but I just want you guys to look at this quick video very quickly, because I don't know, family. I don't know. I want you guys to be the judge. I don't want to judge our brother. Okay, I don't want to judge our brother. I want you guys to help me out, because I could be looking at this totally wrong, okay?
Back to child support. I think the solution is this, and I'm out your way. 2 years. Young woman gets pregnant as a teenager, young man and woman get pregnant. This is the 2-year plan. First 2 years are debt-free. You don't have to pay the government anything back. So she doesn't get to drag him into court and the court doesn't say, you owe us money for investing in your child through food programs, through early Head Start programs. Because in those 2 years, the boy has the option, or not even the option, he has the demand of the co-man to then go to a trade school. You have to go to a trade school, which incentivizes the United States to do it because we need more tradespeople. We don't have enough carpenters, we don't have enough electricians, we don't have enough people building roads. In my community, the girls are going to college and graduating. They have no men to marry because the boys are not going to college in the same way. My teachers were married to a tradesman. My teacher, who we call doctor, her husband owned a locksmith company. Her husband was a carpenter, was a mechanic. So they had a good life. Their kids went to school, right, the same schools we went to. I think that the incentive to solving the child support problem and a part of solving our infrastructure problem is to incentivize young boys who have gotten a girl pregnant. You must now go through 2 years of trade school.
Well, wait a minute. So, okay, I like what you're saying.
Let me give you the rest of the answer first.
Okay, go ahead.
After that boy graduates, you get a further incentive if you and the girl marry. If you and the girl marry, we'll give you these incentives: zero finance home loans, something out of HUD besides an apartment with a leaky faucet and rats and roaches in it, but incentivize marriage, which then strengthens our community, the black community, and strengthens the greater community, because now you have more American marriages, you have people with stronger financial stability, and you have tradespeople married to women of education, and you begin to recreate communities like what Auburn Avenue was, what Edgewood was. I believe you could do this from the executive order, because the money that funnels down from the feds through the states to help mothers, then it can be attached, well, we're not only helping mothers, we're helping fathers too. If a boy gets a woman pregnant, not only does she receive TANF, I see your face, right? Good idea. If a woman receives TANF, she receives this, the boy now has a must. You're federally required now to go to trade school. And in those 2 years, what you put out on the other side is a person who's trained, a person who has an incentive to marry, and a person.
Yeah, you federally are obligated to go to trade school if you get somebody pregnant. If a young man, and this is for the black community. And again, I listened to it a couple of times, and I was like, on one part, it's a great idea. On a second chance, now, because here's the thing, he's federally obligated. He's federally obligated to go to trade school. What if he doesn't want to go? Are you guys then going to use the military or the police to make him go to trade school? Are they going to create a trade school facility? Is this going to be a compound where people who don't want to go to trade school go to a compound facility? I mean, I get it. It encourages that young male to take care of his child with a skill that he will learn. I got it. It would encourage black folk, even when they're young and having babies, to be married, to be together, to build a stronger financial black family. I get it. I understand. But when he said to be federally obligated, I just don't know what that means. Because here's the thing. People who join the military, and if you become a deserter, they come lock you up. And if you become a deserter during wartime, they have the lawful right to shoot you. They have the lawful right to kill you. Okay, that's just what it is, family. That's just what it is, okay? In case probably you don't want to know, that's just what it is. So in peacetime, they lock you up. In wartime, they kill you. That's just what it is. So I was just trying to figure that out. So I just need you guys, you guys help. That's all I needed was you guys help on that, because I just don't know, family. I just don't know. I'm asking. And see, I'm telling you guys, and this is why I took my son to the rifle range, okay? This is why I took, hold on, here we go. Here we go. This is why I took my son to the rifle range, family. This is why you should take your babies. That's right. My youngest son is 12. This is why we took him to the rifle range. I mean, to the whatever you shoot the guns at, I forgot. The range. This is why we took him to the range. For stuff like this, family. For stuff like this. I'm not lying to you. Oh, hell no. Oh, hell no. See, I'm trying to tell you, you better, oh my God. Hey, you better be ready. You better be ready. That's all I'm saying. It's people out here practicing. She had to look how old was she? 8? Was she 8, family? Between 8 and 10? Rhonda Smith said that Killer Mike, he didn't say much about the cop city in Georgia. He sure didn't, sister. He sure didn't. Ja Rule said no such thing as a black bodega. I didn't think so. Tina Murray said, I don't trust him. I don't trust him at all. I don't trust any of these celebrities. Steve Bryant, everything Killer is talking about, Libya was doing under Gaddafi. Royalty. So if I don't go to trade school, then what? I owe the government? Exactly. Now you in debt. Now you in debt, family. Now you in debt. Thick Black Line said, nope, that's not it. That is not it. It's called the projects for a reason. And Gage Pinky Toe said that. But family, this is crazy out here, family. And let me tell you something. These people know who and what we are. They know who and what we are. Let me tell you why. I guess it has to come to one of the, people who don't look like us to let them know who we are. It has to come from people like this. It has to come from people like this, who they say, oh, these are smart people. I know they know what they're talking about.
Well, if you make the assumption that the human race arose like around the equator and
fair use would
be the phenotype, then are you assuming that as people moved outward, there was a mutation, and if you were in the north, it allowed that
fair
to
use
live, which is how we got white people?
Yes.
Would that follow?
Yeah. If Nina Jablonski spoke on another one of your.
Now I don't want to get a copyright strike, family. So basically, this Asian guy, okay, he was telling all these white people that white people are mutation, that you guys came from a recessive gene from black people. And I'm like, that's no secret. But he had to teach them it was a hard pill to swallow. Like, it is what it is. But last but not least, on one of these clips here, family, because we're gonna move one more time before it's all said and done with. But I must point this out. Some of the things that I think that you guys are not familiar with that your boy Joe Biden said. Because here's the thing. I'm voting Couch 2024, and I know a lot of people are against that, and that's fine. If you want to vote for the lesser of two evils, I want you to go back and I want you to comb through every racist, discriminatory, biased, bigoted thing that Donald Trump has said. And again, I told you, I'm no Trump supporter. I'm not on the bandwagon with Trump. I'm not telling you vote for Trump. Don't get it twisted. But that's what I want you to do, because I want you to see something very quickly that one of our sisters pointed out here. Listen to this.
We already have a nigger mayor. We don't need any more nigger big shots. It doesn't matter whether or not they're the victims of society.
Poor kids are just as bright and just as talented as white kids. Unlike the African-American community, with notable exceptions, the Latino community is an incredibly diverse community.
They're going to put you all back in chains. We already have a nigger mayor. We don't need any more nigger big shots. It doesn't matter whether or not they're the victims of society.
Poor kids are just as bright and just as talented as white kids. Unlike the African-American community, with notable exceptions, the Latino community is an incredibly diverse community.
They're going to put you all back in chains. We already.
And I just had to point that out in case anybody forgot, because people like to put on a cape for him. They like to put on a cape for good old Joe Biden, but I'm not. I'm going to let you guys know. And guess what? I ain't going to have you guys to forget.
Listen, you got to come see us when you come to New York, VP Biden.
I will.
It's a long way until November. We got more questions.
You got more questions, but I tell you, if you have a problem figuring out whether you're for me or Trump, then you ain't black.
It don't have nothing to do with Trump. It has to do with the fact I want something for my community.
He said it here first, family. If you don't know who you're going to vote for, you ain't black. And that's going to hold up in court. That's going to hold up in court. And as I told you guys before, all of these Democratic sanctuary cities, and again, we go hard on the Democrats and not the Republicans so much, because we understand that is the party that comes to pander to us every 2 and 4 years. The Republicans like, you know what? if we just show black people how bad the Democrats has been to them while they're pretending to be their friends and helping them out, if we just show them, they might just not vote for them and some may come over here. That's what they're banking on. And guess what? It's working. It's working because you're not going to keep voting for people who you keep lying to and keep tricking to. You're not going to do it because guess what? You're giving out tangibles. Mayor Adams, you're giving out tangibles. Bronx local says homeless being kicked out to make room for illegals. They're being kicked out to make room for illegals. These are the black residents stating this, family.
And you know, it's a lot of people sleeping on the train too. It's people walking around sleeping on anywhere they can find a spot to sleep at. And I really feel that, you know, a lot of that is happening because of a lot of the people that's coming in and immigrants is coming. And they putting them first and neglecting the people that actually is born and raised here. You know, because even look right now, as we're right here, I'm showing you areas where there's people that's sleeping outside, but the Bronx Borough president and the mayor just finished opening up a whole encampment up in Orchard Beach where they're housing people from another country, but our people still sleeping on the train and still sleeping outside.
And I've heard from a couple of NYPD sources that New Yorkers are getting kicked out of homeless shelters to make room for Venezuelan migrants or any other illegal immigrants. Have you heard stories such as this one?
Oh, yes, I heard a lot of that, you know, and it's a reality that is happening because you're seeing more people on the street than you ever seen. You're seeing more people on the train. You go to the train, you know, it's a lot of people sleeping on the train too. It's people.
Yeah, that's it, family. That's it. That's what's going on right now in New York. So while he's giving out tangibles, they're kicking out other people who's part of the community. That's what they're doing in New York. They're kicking out the residents to house illegal migrants. That is exactly what they're doing. That's what they're doing here. Let's see what the people say. You're just behind the curve. That's all. You know what? I'm not going to get into it with you guys today. Because there's one more thing I got to show you guys that's important, okay? About your boy Joe. Just to double down. Just so people don't know that, you know, I'm speaking in conjecture or bias. This is the truth.
And by the way, you know, I sit on the stand.
Willis, she went to school with my sister. She full of shit. She was full of shit then. So she's a puppet for the white liberal that is controlling everything. She's in front, but the white liberal back there pulling those strings, telling her what to do. That's what I think about her, making a fool of herself.
Do you think it's going to help his election?
Of course it is. It's going to elevate him all the way. I think we should make Trump king. That's how I feel. We should make him king.
Wouldn't that be like kind of like communistic?
No, that's nowhere near communist. No, we just going to make him king, but we still got our freedoms and rights and everything. He for that. Yeah, Trump for king. What? 2024.
That's actually my URL. I own that URL.
You own that URL?
Can I get your name?
Really? Oh, my name is Niggas for Trump 2024.
I can't
Derek
write that.
Gibson, a former,
That's my nigga.
Former candidate. I'm a former candidate for New York State Governor. Derek Gibson, look me up.
Trump, 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 Trump.
I don't know, family. I don't know what's going on with some of us. I mean, Go vote for Trump, but calm down. What Trump for king? What the fuck is they about to make me go on? What is he talking about? What is he talking about? Trump king. Oh my God. I'm telling you, it's in full effect today. Yeah, I'm confused. I'm confused, family. I don't know what's going on out there. Okay, I don't know what's going on out there. Please click that like button. Please hit the subscribe button, family. I don't know what's going on out there, family. I have no idea. But for all of my brothers in the room, very quickly, brothers, sisters, just stand by. Brothers, if any of you guys looking for a good woman, I got you, okay? All jokes aside, I know I joke a little bit here and there. All jokes aside, family, okay?
Huh?
Oh, really?
And stuff, yeah.
White man.
What do you mean by that?
So what do you guys prefer in a guy?
Really rich, really black.
Come on, man.
At least 6'5".
6'5"?
Yeah, just lots of money, really. Yeah.
Like a yacht and stuff?
Yeah. That kind of thing. Can buy me fancy things, take me on trips, pay my rent.
What's your biggest turnoff in guys?
Probably when they don't work out.
Huh?
Go to
Oh,
the
really?
gym and stuff, yeah.
White man.
What do you mean by that?
So what do you guys prefer in a...
They got you. They got y'all. You good. My brothers are good. Sisters, they good. They good now. I wish I had Dr. Umar on here. He probably would have laughed. Dr. Umar, you guys are stuck up. Dr. Umar would have laughed. Dr. Umar would have laughed. Now that we're coming to the closing, family, I had so much material. I'm just going to close it here. Okay. I had a lot more commentary, but we're rocking out here. We're going to rock out a little bit early here. Okay. We're going to rock out a little bit early here. We already over an hour, but yeah, I'm trying to cut these down, but you guys are so good to me. I'd like to stay with you guys. You guys are very motivating, but I'm going to leave you guys with this right here. I believe this is a good one. Brothers, don't take offense to that. I was just joking with you guys, man. I was just joking. But this is something that Donald Trump posted. This is something that Donald Trump posted on his True Social to clown President Biden. And I'm telling you, whoever put it together, I thought it was funny, okay? Maybe you guys find something into it as well.
At White House Senior Living, our residents feel right at home. Our vibrant facility offers delightful activities and outings, round-the-clock professional care, and exquisite house-made meals.
Well, I've been eating everything that's put in front of me. I've been eating all Italian foods, basically.
And ice cream.
And ice cream, chocolate chip ice cream.
White House Senior Living, where residents feel like presidents.
I'm telling you, it's some petty people in the world, family. It's some petty people in the world. Okay? It's some petty people in the world. It's some petty people in the world. I thank you all for joining me here this evening. And I know the weekend's coming. It's Friday. I know you guys will be going out doing your activities and stuff like that. You guys on Sunday will be going to church. But before I leave you, as a good pastor would say, be one to all my brothers and sisters that join me here today, for all my Foundation Black Americans and my non-Foundation Black Americans. Thank you all for supporting Blacklogic. Please hit that subscribe button, thumbs up button. But before I leave you, I will be doing the community a great injustice because I know that some of you guys are going to go to church, okay, get the word of God, and I would be wrong if I didn't hook you guys up. I would definitely just be wrong. I wouldn't be in my right state of mind if I didn't hook you guys up. So with that being said, I want you to remember this when you're in church.
I would have been swallowed up. Have you ever been swallowed up? Have you gone through a time of swallowing where everything was overwhelming?
All right, guys. I see you guys. I see you guys on the next one. I'm so sorry. I just had to get that out of my system. So think about that when you're in church, or
Look
maybe
at your neighbor and say he's a meat stretcher. He'll stretch your meat.
Think about one of the two. Anyway, B1's brothers and sisters, thank you for joining me this evening. You guys have a good one.